Hey guys, Ethan Sigmund here. In this video, I'm going to show you a little bit more about the button trigger and how to install that on your site. All right, so here we are in the button trigger. When you first come in and create your trigger, you can label it whatever you'd like. So I'm going to say opt-in, or I'm going to name this report checkbox. All right. Then you have your button types. So in the button trigger, you have the default send to messenger button, and then you have your with checkbox button. Now there's a few differences on these buttons. If you're using the send to messenger button, as soon as somebody kind of clicks this button and goes ahead and subscribes, you'll be able to get all of their information. All right, so when you come into your subscribers tab, you'll see them like this. You'll see all their information, so on and so forth. Now if you're using the with checkbox button, as soon as somebody clicks on this button, they'll be subscribed. You can send them information, things like that, but you won't get all of their information. You'll have an unknown subscriber like this here. So you'll be able to see that they're unknown, and be able to send them messages, things like that. But you won't be able to see their information until they reply to you or your bot inside the messenger in some way. So think about that when you're creating these and decide which one's best for your use case. However, with the checkbox option, you are able to customize this button that is here. So you can make it say, as you see here, I have it saying send me the report. With both, you're able to pick your button size, large, medium, small, whatever works best for your use case. We're going large here. And then again, with the checkbox option, you are able to fully customize this button. So let's go ahead and make my text black on the button here. And then let's make this background white. You can see that this has changed. And then with the checkbox, you can also have this send to messenger on the bottom or listed on the side here for you, depending on what page layout is easier. The other option you do have with the send to messenger button is you can have a blue or white button, just depending on what works best for your screen. So now that you have all those options, you do have your submitted state. This is what the button will look like after it's clicked on your website. You can change what this says here, and you can also change what it does. By default, it'll say view in Messenger, and when clicked, it will take somebody to the Messenger page, whether that's on their phone or on their desktop or whatnot in Facebook, so that they can view that in Messenger. Now you can make it so that when it's clicked, your button here, that it redirects to a URL. So if you want to go to a specific thank you page right after somebody clicks, you would enter that in here. And then it would, in this instance, redirect somebody to that URL in a new tab. All right, you can make it so it goes into the current tab, so on and so forth. And then you here can also customize how this button looks as far as text colors, background, etc. So now let's get into how to actually install this button. Here you have your embed code, and this is where all the installation happens. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to authorize any website that this button is going to appear on. So this could be your URL, this could be the URL of the software that maybe you're using to build out the page. Maybe you're using something like Lead Pages or ClickFunnels or Instapage or whatnot to build out these pages. You need to authorize any URL that you want this to show up on. So this is something that Facebook requires. If the URL is not authorized, even if you install everything else correctly, you will not see this appear on your website. So if you're having issues after you've installed everything, first thing you need to check is, have I authorized the URL? Second thing you need to check is, if you're building this in a builder like Lead Pages, Instapage, ClickFunnels, whatever it might be, if you're trying to preview it through their preview, you need to make sure that you've authorized the URL that they use for previewing. So it might be app.clickfunnels.com, or for lead pages, they use your subdomain.lpages.co, and for Instapage, they use your subdomain.pagedemo.co. If you want to be able to see it on those pages in their preview, you do need to authorize that URL there. So to authorize a URL, you simply type it in here. So I could type in opesta.com. You don't need to add any wwws or anything like that. However, if it is a subdomain, so for example up here we have app.opesta.com, you do need to copy over the entire subdomain. So I would need to go app.opesta.com, and that would be authorized then as a URL. So once you've authorized the URL, the next thing you need to do is you need to install the Opesta script in the body section of your page. So you'll simply copy this. This is the Opesta pixel here, and try and install this on the body of your website. If you can't add it into the body, most of the time it will work. Add it into the head tags. And if you need specific help figuring out, oh, I'm building on WordPress, I'm building in ClickFunnels, I'm building in lead pages, where do I add this code? We do have specific documents for certain builders in our help documents. If you cannot find it in our help documents, if you Google add code to body tag, this right here, body in Shopify or in WordPress or whatever platform you're building in, you will definitely be able to find tutorials on that. Now, once this has been added to the page, and we recommend actually adding this to every page on your website, so that because this is what allows us to generate these buttons, as well as track what pages users visit and so on and so forth. Once that's added, the final thing you have to do is you need to embed the button where you want it to appear. And that's where this script right here comes in. So you'll go ahead and copy this, and you'll paste this code exactly where you want the button to appear on your page. So if you're building in WordPress, you can simply paste this in line with your content. If you're building in a builder of some sort, like lead pages or ClickFunnels, so on and so forth, Squarespace, Wix, things like that, they'll all have you allow you to add an element that is for custom HTML or CSS. You can add that, or JavaScript. You can add that element in, and then you would simply paste this code here inside of that element, and your button will appear where that element is. Once you have that embedded and you've done steps 1 and 2, you will be able to save and view that button on a page. So we'll go ahead and kind of view this on a page. I'll bring it in. Here's a page here that I've installed it on. You can see, like I said, in a builder you'll have a little element that's for custom HTML or JavaScript. So we can see that I've added that code here. So this is where my button should appear. So I'm gonna go ahead and preview this. All right, and here it is. Now we don't have everything appearing correctly, and that's because I don't believe I have this URL whitelisted. This is the preview URL that I was talking about. So we need to go in here, make sure that we have app.clickfunnels.com whitelisted. Now that we do, when we go ahead and preview, we can see the send to messenger pop up. So we didn't have to change any code, just had to make sure that we had everything whitelisted, and then we can see that it's installed there. So this is how you install the button trigger. It's the same for whether with checkbox or send to messenger. And like I said, if you visit our help documents, there's going to be detailed instructions for each builder out there that you can use.